Hello Scorpio, and welcome back to New Hope Tarot. We're going to be doing your reading for the first half of February. We're going to be using 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks for this particular reading. And before we get started, if this reading does resonate, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I would truly appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the little bell so that you can get notified when the next video does come out. I have already meditated upon the cards and I have pre-shuffled, but as always, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle live. All right, we have 2 cards, Reflect and Boundaries, that came out. Maybe you need to reflect on your boundaries. Pause. Let's take a look at the tarot cards here. I'm feeling like some of you need to work on your heart chakras. The Hierophant. The 8 of Cups in reverse. And the 9 of Wands in reverse. The 6 of Wands came out, so I am taking it. All right, let's take a look at these cards and find out what the story is for you, Scorpio. So after looking at your cards, the tarot cards, I'm feeling that with the Hierophant here, I feel like you're used to, or your way of thinking is like you're very traditional, right? Or at least maybe not in action, but in thought. Either way, take it how it resonates. And because you're so traditional, you don't want to walk away from a situation, whether it's work related or a partnership, a love relationship, because you were taught that you have to make things work. And with this 8 of Cups here, it's like you're convincing yourself that you should stay, but because it's in reverse, it's saying, don't tell yourself that. Really, don't tell yourself that, because I feel like it's stating that you're very traditional, and it's like it's in your mind. I can't even get this out of my head. It's like embedded in you, and you're literally convincing yourself, no, I should stay. This is the right thing to do. Maybe you have children and whatever your reasons are. And with the reflect card and the boundaries card, before I'm going to touch those before I get over to the 9 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. The reflect card, what I'm seeing here is what I mentioned earlier. You know, I feel like some of you really truly need to reflect on your own scenario as a whole, not just the good parts, okay? Not the good bits, but all of it as an entirety. The good, the bad, the pretty, the ugly, all of it. Because that's going to give you a much clearer vision of what your situation really is. And there are swans here, and swans are very elegant and graceful, and I mean, they can be really mean creatures, but if you look at them, they're very elegant, right? So be gentle with yourself, but be mean when you need to, is what this is saying to me after you've done your reflection, not right at this moment. And with the armadillo here on the boundaries section, this is telling me don't harden your heart, but set boundaries to protect yourself, right? That you have to set your boundaries in order to protect yourself, but you're not going to be able to do that unless you reflect on your situation and see it in its entirety. All right. And then once you've reflected and you set your boundaries, then take moments, because it says here, pause, may moments of calm sustain you. Take moments throughout the day and reflect on, on yourself, on the situation. Constantly reflect on it. Don't reflect on should you stay or should you go. Don't reflect on that. That's not reflection. Reflection looks like, okay, this morning, this is what happened. And look at it, as a whole, right? As if you were watching a movie. Okay, my partner came in, they were yelling, and I didn't want to say anything back because that's only going to get him more upset. So I'm not going to say anything, so I'm just going to shut up because it makes it a smoother transition. So if you're reflecting on that, what does that look like to you? Does that look right to you? Does that not look right to you? That's what these moments are for. Reflect. So anytime, it could be a good moment too, but in this particular situation, we're talking about walking away from something that is not for your higher good. This is what I'm seeing right now, and you do have to set boundaries. And I'm going to go over, if you don't know how to set boundaries, I'm going to go over how to do that here towards the end. I hope I remember to do that. But back to the pause button, because I am seeing, you being very traditional and very strong in your faith, and maybe your faith does not allow you to walk away from a partnership, or it states that you were raised in a very traditional household where it says no, you have to have a 9-to-5 job because that's what's normal, whatever that looks like. But this pause card is saying, check in with yourself. Check in to see how you're doing with your reflections. Are you reflecting? Are you doing, are you setting your boundaries? If you are setting your boundaries, are you sticking to them? Do they need readjustments? Are there people who frequently impose upon them, things to that nature? Take moments to do things like that, which is going to give you the strength to inch your way out of a certain situation, okay? With the Nine of Wands in reverse here, I do feel like you're walking away from this situation, because I'm getting chills. I don't like this situation at all. I'm feeling very uncomfortable by this situation. The Six of Wands is stating, that you are walking away because you started to see things that you didn't see before. Because you're seeing things, you're on this particular card, you're on a horse and you're looking down, and then all of a sudden you're starting to see bits and pieces that you weren't able, like the way people have their hair or the looks on their faces, or different things that you weren't able to see when you were on the ground with them. But now that you're up on this horse, you're looking down and you go, oh wow. Right? It's like you have a different perspective. And because you have a different perspective, you're seeing things you didn't see before, giving you the strength to walk away from this. But the only way you have the strength to walk away is by reflecting and setting your boundaries and constantly taking those moments to check in with yourself to see what that looks like. All right? And I'm going to go ahead and get clarification on these cards. But while I'm shuffling, I want to go ahead and make sure that you have pen and paper, or if you're going to write notes on your phone or whatever, setting your boundaries. I want you to write down what your needs are. Like, what are your needs? If you're in a bad relationship, what are your needs? Do you need your partner to step it up? Do you need them to help out? Do you need them to not be so angry? If you're in a work environment, do you need a calmer environment? Do you need something more motivating? What does that look like to you? All right. I can't answer that. These questions are for you to answer. What are your needs, right? So you're going to write down, what are my needs? That's how you're going to write it, because these are questions you ask yourself, right? At this point, this isn't about what other people's needs are. This is about you. All right, Scorpio? And then the second question I want you to ask is, who and what keeps you from your needs or your goals? All right. And again, I can't answer that for you. And maybe you don't have answers right at this moment. That's okay. Keep thinking about them. And the more you think about them, you're going to start writing these down. Okay. You're going to write the answers down as you constantly think about them. The third question. What's the third question? How do you prevent them from keeping you from it, right? So you want to write it down as, how do I prevent these people from keeping me from my goals or my needs, okay? And just an FYI, you might be a part of someone who might be preventing yourself, okay? And it could be, your way of thinking. It could be, actions, things that you are allowing. And don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, be gentle with yourself with this swan here. That's okay. You're here to learn. You're here to grow. None of us are perfect, and none of us ever will be. But the more we recognize these things, the better adjusted we're going to get, right? And then you're going to set your boundaries according to what your specifications are. So whatever those 3 questions are, or whatever those 3 answers are, set your boundaries according to those, based upon those specifications, whatever those answers are. Okay? That's it. That's it. And then I want you to keep in the back of your mind, you know, you might trip. You know, you might trip. And guess what? That's okay. That is absolutely okay if you trip. You're human. You're gonna trip up. Don't worry about it. Reset, readjust, start all over again, right? Or pick up right where you left off. It's not the end of the world, right? I'm sure you're definitely a lot further along than where you were when you first started. So just bear that in mind, okay? All right, for the Hierophant, we have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse and the 5 of Wands in reverse. All right, so the 2 of Pentacles is, you know, like decisions, balance, things of that nature. But because it's in reverse here with the Hierophant, you're not balanced, right? And really, you're not making any decisions. The only decisions that you're making is based upon what you grew up with. They're not really even yours, your own thoughts, your own. And I'm not knocking you, Scorpio, by no means. I'm not knocking you. I'm telling you what I see in the cards. And we all have this. Let me tell you, we all have this. We all, as you know, as adults, you know, we do things because we're, and you know, we think, we eat, we live life very similarly to how our parents lived their lives, or and how they live, you know, they live their lives similar to how their parents lived their lives, right? These things carry on because they're embedded in us at a very young age when we don't know any better to go, no, that isn't right. Right? So these things are embedded in us, and then it's hard, you know, because it's in our DNA practically. You know, it's how we maneuver through our lives, right? So don't put this upon yourself, right? You just have to find your way out of it, okay? With the 5 of Wands in reverse, it's like you can't even speak up, is what I'm getting out of this. Maybe the person or the work that you're in, maybe you're dealing with a supervisor or a manager, you know, maybe, you know, you have tried to speak up and try to tell them your point of view or something to that extent, and they just don't want to hear it. You know, they dismiss you, and because you are a faithful servant, right, to your supervisor, your boss, or a faithful partner, you know, because that's what you are traditionally was brought up to believe, you don't challenge it anymore, right? Because you've already tried, and like, okay, well, I guess I'll just have to, you know, suck it up, right? But that's not a life to be lived. 8 of Cups, we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And the 8 of Pentacles, sorry, my back popped. The 8 of Pentacles in reverse it's for me, it's a lack of knowledge in a certain area, or a lack of focus in a certain area. This is here to verify the 8 of Cups in reverse. Interestingly enough, we have them both in reverse. The 8 of Cups, you know, you don't, it's telling you, it's like you're convincing yourself to stay where you're at, right? With the Eight of Pentacles, you're convincing yourself of that because, you know, I feel it's like you lack the knowledge of what it's really supposed to be like, because you only know one way of doing things, because even though it doesn't feel right to you, because that's how you were raised. Again, Scorpio, I'm not knocking you. Absolutely not. I'm only telling you what I see in the cards. And not every reading is happy-go-lucky and everybody, you know, is finding love and everybody's finding money and everybody's doing this. No, life is hard. We all go through crap, right? And some of us need extra guidance to try to get out of a situation. And I guess you found this for a reason, right? Everything isn't always hunky-dory. That's just not like, oh, okay, that flew out. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups with action. That's great. You know, the Queen of Cups is a very emotional queen. She's smart, and she's kind. She's a very kind queen. And ignore the he's and she's, the male and the females, the queen and king. None of that matters, right? It's about energy. So this is talking about you. This is your energy. You know, you are a kind individual, but it looks like you need to step up into your divine position as a queen, because I don't feel like you're being treated like a queen, but you should, right? And I feel as if once you walk away, you're going to start filling your own cup, because you're going to be the queen. You're like, I got this, right? And you are going to find victory once you walk away, and because you're going to recognize that that you were missing so much, and you're going to start fulfilling yourself. And fulfilling yourself from the inside out. And you're going to take pointers on like the lessons that you've learned from this entire situation. And I don't want you to think, oh man, I lost all this time. No. Time isn't lost. You learned something. And because of what you went through, you're going to come out stronger. You're going to come out like the queen. Okay? So don't worry about that. All right? You are legitimately going to come out like the queen. Then we have the goddess Hoya. And she's new for me. I don't know. I've only seen her a couple of times. So allow me a moment. I'm going to go through the book real quick. Oh, there we go. Let's see. How wonderful. Okay, so this is the card of stability, knowledge, diplomacy, love, and patience. That is absolutely amazing. Look at everything you've gained from the moment you walk away. That is amazing. I feel like you are going to manifest so much once you walk away, because you're going to have a sense of freedom that you didn't have before. And you're going to feel so strong yet relaxed is the sense that I'm getting from this particular card. It's also giving me the sense of the Star card. and it's a wish fulfilled. And I see this as such beautiful energy. I'm telling you, the moment you walk away, my dear Scorpios, your emotions are going to be balanced. It's mainly your emotional state, but your emotions, your energy, your whole aura is going to change, and people are going to look at you and be like, what's going on with Scorpio? Like, what happened? Where did this person come from? You're going to be completely unrecognizable because you're going to be shining. I love this for you, Scorpio. This has been a great reading, and I'm so glad that you're going to come out like a star after everything that you've gone through. This is super, super amazing. All right, Scorpio, this is your reading for the first half of February. Again, if it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Until we meet again. Bye.